Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of StarCraft Inc. Today's match is a good one between Empire Kaz spawning as the Blue Terran in the bottom of Antigua Shipyards and AAA Nerchio. That's Acer for you guys, and he's spawning as the Red Zerg on the right side of this map. So, guys, I know last game I put some music in the cast. It was my first cast back in a little while. I was feeling pretty epic. It was balanced and mixed nicely on my computer, but apparently the music was really freaking loud on your computers. I apologize for that. It won't happen again. I just won't put music in here anymore. But anyway, guys, it was fun for me. I hope you enjoyed that game as well. It was a pretty freaking wicked game. And as for this one, let me talk about the players a little bit for you. Empire Kaz, also known as the Destroyer or the Machine, mostly because he plays so many ladder games. It's his only form of practice. He's from Ukraine, and this pure number of ladder games is why he is known as the Machine, and why he is known as the Destroyer is because he plays such a versatile, such a diverse player group. Like, he's on the ladder, so he's playing different people all the time. He's got such well-rounded builds that are ready to deal with anything. And over here we have Nerchio, kind of a nerdy dude, but he's from Poland and we like him. Okay, he actually got banned from ESL once for playing on someone else's account. Not a good thing. He played Brood War for about 10 years, kind of got into the IC Cup near the end, managed to pull in a C+ rank, so not as scary as some of the players we see a lot. But he's got a few good wins from this year, including Battle of Berlin, so no tiny tournament there. And we'll see how this game unfolds. TVT is Empire Kaz's favorite matchup. I'm not really sure about Nerchio. He's pretty open about talking about the game, but not so much himself. He likes to babble on about balance. So, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about Nerchio, guys. If you guys like him, if you don't, I don't know. But it's kind of like movie stars. I'm a huge fan of not Tom Hanks. I do like Tom Hanks. I'm trying to think. Oh, Jesus. The guy from Mission Impossible. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, you do. But, oh, God. Why can't I remember his name? Anyway, he's a dick in real life, but I love his movies. And so that just kind of goes to show how I feel about StarCraft players. I don't really care what they're like outside of the game. When they're in the game, that's what I care about. So, Tom Cruise. Yes, that's the name. Tom Cruise. We're seeing a fast expansion from Empire Kaz. This is a 1-Rax expand, and you know, I'm not gonna put predictions in as to how that's gonna pay off for him, but I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be okay, but I'm not gonna get really in depth. These couple lings, it's just enough to deny a bunker. If Empire Kaz was trying to do some sort of bunker rush, but that's not the case. It's a little bit late for that, especially since the lings are already out, of course, and these 4 Marines will be more than enough to deny lings from getting in here. Whether or not they even scouted or not, that's another thing. I don't know if he's going to kind of try to suicide them through or what's going on. I'm surprised this Overlord's just chilling here, not actually flying down here to see what's going on. Sacrificial Overlord might be a good idea, and no, Nerchio will pull back with those lings. For some reason, Empire Kaz is following up with his Marines. There will be a Spine Crawler and a Queen here, though, to deflect them if they try to push too far. And no, nothing happening so far out of Empire Kaz. We are seeing that factory and double gas, so we are going to see some pretty heavy tech play coming up here. And there is a tech lab on the bio buildings. That's what we're going to call them now, bio buildings. And yeah, here we go. Into the game. Speed on its way. And, God, I hate the start of TVZ, because everybody just kind of sits around. Unless it's a bunker rush, then it's not even interesting then, because same shit happens all the time. So dropping a bunker, getting that standard defense. Guys, this map is interesting because there's a lot of chokes. These smoke screens are a pain in the ass when you're trying to push this location, or if you own this location. Sometimes when you come down the ramp, you're like, you get here, and you don't see anything, but there's a big fucking army waiting for you right here. That's happened to me a couple times. Gotta take this tower. This tower is so important on this map, especially because of those smoke screens. And Nerchio will go and take that tower. Very clever boy. It's like he's listening to me. Caster hacks, that's what it is. No, leave 1 ling on that tower. Why aren't you... Okay, he's taking his 3rd. Whoop-de-doo. Bunch of Marines. Now, this is important. What Nerchio just did, he didn't want to do any damage. Maybe he did. Maybe he wanted to get lucky potentially. But the point is, he came up the ramp. He saw exactly what the unit composition here was. And as for here, we're getting stim. That's great. But, I mean, he sees that there's no Marauders. He sees that there's no siege tanks yet. And there are siege tanks on the way. But, I mean, it kind of gives him an idea of what he's dealing with now. Like, right this instant. And you need to keep poking and keep prodding and keep scouting constantly throughout the game so that you're not caught off guard. As soon as he sees medevacs, like if he pokes up the ramp again, like he is now, as soon as you see medevacs, you need to start getting ready for drops. And there you go! See what that did for him? He caught the drop, and now he knows to get back home and get ready to defend that. So where is this drop going to go? It is going to go for the 3rd. But no, it's going to cut into this base here. Going to lose an Overlord, not a big deal. Pulling up his Lings. He is in position to deal with this. He needs to... Okay. Going to load up. Going to go back for the 3rd. And Nerchio not really sure where to go with this. Pulling his Queens away from this expansion. A couple Roaches going over here to try and deal with this. Will he lose his 3rd too? That drop? Not too sure. Empire Kaz, buddy, you got to make this count. But he's going to go after the Lings. Now there's Roaches. Not going to be able to do much damage here. Loads up into that medevac and pulls away. Meanwhile, getting those siege tanks out, he's safe at home. And it's kind of interesting. Once the siege tank count gets really high, Roaches aren't really effective anymore. And so kind of forcing him into Roaches with the Marines. It's a good idea. Also forcing him to use his larva on Roaches instead of drones, which is also a good idea. A lot of good ideas going around in this game. Hopefully Nerchio gets ready to take his 4th because he has that opportunity. I don't feel like Empire Kaz has the capability to push him very hard. Still this medevac of Marines sitting at the tower, and just a tiny little military ball for Nerchio here. Gonna go run into the tower and find out the hard way that that's where the Marines are sitting. Good reaction time on Nerchio. Was gonna actually try and take him at the tower, but not a good idea. Even with those Roaches, the medevac is gonna make that a tricky feat of strength. And I want to see Kaz take his 3rd now because he's starting to fall behind. Unless he can do some crippling damage with this push, he will. And some more Roaches coming out for Nerchio now that his 3rd is kicked in. And Scan going down to clear out all this creep, which is so huge. Nerchio coming in with his Roaches, but these 2 siege tanks are going to make Roaches kind of obsolete until they get some upgrades. They've got nothing right now. And medevacs picking up all the Marines. Siege tanks going back home. Where are the medevacs going? Checking for a 4th, potentially. Maybe going to drop the line of the 3rd. It's not completely saturated yet, which, you know, I'd like to see some more saturation. But Nerchio doing such a good job here defending. He catches that drop before it lands and getting out of there with their lives. The Marines do no damage. Potentially coming back for more, though. Nerchio is leaving some units behind, going back to take the tower. Good choice of split here because that will be very effective. He needs to pay attention. Here comes the Marines. Gonna kill one as soon as he hits the ground. And Kaz does no damage with that drop either. Nerchio defending strongly. Another drop over here that I caught by accident, I will admit. But almost losing the medevac just to the Queens. Kind of funny here. So really spending a lot on his drops here. And Nerchio breaking down the rocks here so that when Kaz takes his expansion, Nerchio will have free reign on it. And Nerchio's surprised to find that there is no expansion there. This little army here is not effective against a number of Lings that are on the map. So he needs to land those medevacs full of Marines. There we go! Oh my god, Kaz almost getting a good surround on Nerchio, but Nerchio pulls back just in time and gets his units out of there. Siege tanks sieging up on the low ground. Gonna drop on the high ground, giving him vision and low ground support. Putting a tank on the high ground as well to help the tanks on the low ground in case he is engaged down there, so those tanks are not naked. This is such a good strategy. Terran players, watch carefully. because this is such a good way to play against Zerg. It is so powerful and has very little weakness. There's not much that Nerchio can do about this, despite how but the fungal growth! Oh, the fungal growth was so good. But now what does he do about the siege tanks? It's really tricky to get down there. The roaches go down to the low ground to deal with the tanks. Lots of bio down there as well, though. Nerchio losing a lot, but it doesn't really matter. It's easier for the Zerg to be cost effective in a trade like that, because the Terran player can't spit out nearly as much as the Zerg can. And we are going to see this harass continue, losing more overlords. Nerchio potentially even losing a mineral line here. No fungal growth. There's the fungal growth. And lots of Marines go down to that. Siege tanks still here, punishing the roaches, punishing the infestors. I'm surprised that Kaz did not take the time to focus fire those infestors. Another big death ball coming up the middle of the map for Kaz, and a couple lings floating around. He's spreading that creep once again to make sure he can spot stuff like this. And here goes the siege up. He's going to slowly creep forward with his tanks, and those infestors catching a volley of siege tank shells they didn't want to catch. Fungal growth going down, infested Terran going down in the middle of the tanks. The Marines trying to punch those down before they hatch, and they do successfully. No more energy on those infestors. Roaches and lings here, and the mineral line from the third abandons its post. A fourth going up over to the left, and it looks like a run by. He's going for the third of Empire Kaz, and what a great decision. Stopping Kaz from getting too far ahead, making the trade because Kaz just took his own third. And a couple roaches pop, and probably won't even DPS. No, they won't even DPS down a single Marine. Oh, they do finally get one Marine. It's a little bit of a calm after the storm here. Nerchio trying to avoid siege tank rage, and one infestor gets too close. Fungal growth goes down as that AoE DPS just neuters the Marines under the medevacs, and the siege tanks try to take out as many infestors as they can, but the infestors do back up, and it looks like Nerchio was unable to destroy this mineral line, and Kaz just has so much stuff again, and I don't really know what Nerchio can do right now. He is a little bit contained, trying to get a queen at that third base. It looks like the lings are pushing forward into what they can't take. They will get this while it's a little bit naked, but I don't know. We're going to see a drop here, and Nerchio has nothing up there. A macro hatch going down, but it looks like it might be denied by this drop. He may have to cancel, but no, it looks like the roaches and lings are going to go around the long way and see if they can't catch Kaz by surprise. These Marines getting right up into the mains mineral line, and it's a terrible wedge for for Nerchio to engage in, but those fungal growths even out the table, and man, just excellent use of infestors from Nerchio, not even letting them die to the siege tanks. He's playing it pretty well. A drop goes down over here, and Nerchio gets there in time, and Kaz not even really watching it at all, letting all the Marines die where he could have lifted up and saved those. Siege tanks shelling lings at the tower, but actually killing a lot of Marines as well. And one infestor dies for free. More lings come down from the north, and we will see him go for this third again. Excellent spotting. An infestor follows. He will be able to pop up and fungal the army that comes to defend, but no, it dies before it gets a shot off. A couple SCVs go down, mules go down to replace them, and the lings just pull back, which is what they need to be doing. A couple medevacs sitting here for free. I'd love to see them get caught by mutas or something. I think that's really what Nerchio needs, is some air superiority here. He could pick off medevacs. He could stop drops from running away. There's another drop here, killing more drones. At least he saved his infestors here by burrowing them. Excellent choice, and gets a few infested Terran up to defend. A couple roaches come to support as well. The hatchery, though, does go down as he's taking 1 and 2 more on the left side of the map. Lings on the towers to spot the approaching army. So many siege tanks. He needs broodlords. He needs broodlords so bad, and he's nowhere near a position to take that kind of tech. I mean, this is really looking bad for Nerchio. Empire Kaz with this Marine siege tank. Such an old traditional style fungal growth going down over all the Marines, but it's just not enough as the siege tank count is so high. He needs another like 10 waves of Lings. Well, you know what? Like 2 Broodlords. Wait, what? Yeah, and that drone did not deserve that. I don't feel like that needed to happen to him. And he needs to pull back his Overlords because very soon there will be Marines under those. A couple Infestors coming over here. They will be dropping Infested. Oh my god, beautiful play. Siege tanks killing themselves. Infested Terran going to pop and destroy a lot of these siege tanks. Excellent Infestor play by Nerchio. This game is going so back and forth. These Infestors are in range of the tanks. They both go down, but it looks like they will trade the tanks. These Infested Terran do pop, and they do take out the remaining siege tanks. Excellent use of Infestors by Nerchio. And now that he's got this base here, he can saturate it. He can get this base back. He needs to keep up, but Nerchio, or Empire Kaz, is in much better shape. Better income, I believe. Let's take a look. Oh my god, Nerchio is just lolling. Mules GG, blaming it on balance. I mean, Nerchio played well, but like I said, he needed those Broodlords. It was a tech decision, really. But Empire Kaz playing this game solid and just not allowing his opponent to expand. A little bit better defense on Nerchio. I mean, his spotting was good, but his static defense was a little bit lacking. He could have stopped those drops without as much attention. And near the end, he started to lose a lot of Infestors out of frustration. And I don't know. I just feel like this was a tech decision. He was being very good with his Infestors, but it's not what he needed. And would have been much easier for him had he got those Broodlords. Guys, I'm Mr. Incarnum. You're watching StarCraft Inc. I hope you enjoyed this game without music. See you later, guys.